How's it going, guys? So it's been a long, tiring road to get to this point, but Aaron Rodgers has appeared on the Pat McAfee Show, and he has confirmed that he is not going to be a Green Bay Packer anymore, and expressed his desires to the Packers that he wants to be a New York Jet. He kind of started off this interview process kind of doing his usual rambling, but quickly got around to the point, and he gave a summary of the timeline of where it was at the start of the offseason, like after the Lions lost, stating when he talked to the front office of the Packers that they told him, hey, take your time, take as much time as you need, and let us know how you feel. And if you want to come back, we'll bring you back. And then apparently when he went on his darkness retreat, and after he got out after 4 or 5 days, he realized there has been a tonal shift amongst the Packer front office and that they actually didn't want to bring him back. And that kind of does align pretty well with what we've seen on the sidelines outside of the organization and just kind of being viewers from our couches, that it's out of nowhere there's been a shift from what Mark Murphy says or Brian Gutekunst, and like they want to move on to Love. And so not only did we suspect it, but Aaron Rodgers suspected it, and whatever talks they had, it pretty much came down to they wanted to move on to Jordan Love. And it was quite interesting listening to Aaron Rodgers talk about it, because he also stated when he was going into his darkness retreat, he was pretty much set 90% chance of actually retiring and then retiring as a Packer, and 10% chance of him playing. But after he got back, that whole thing changed. And it could be because he kind of got word of how the organization felt. And even though he didn't try to entirely slight the organization, Aaron Rodgers does tend to have that chip on his shoulder when things like this happen. He wants to pretty much shove it down your throat and prove you wrong. So I feel like that might have played a huge part really, in where he was like, you know what? I'm going to come back. I'm going to tell the Packers brass, I want to play for the Jets. And so here we are today. It was also expressed that he made this decision a few days ago, and that the Packers brass and also apparently the New York Jets knew this, but we, as being outsiders, did not know. But we had suspicions based off a lot of leaks, especially the Redditor that unfortunately deleted their account, who had very good insider information. And then, of course, Trey Wingo, who somehow became a reliable source in all this. And it looked like this was probably going to be a high probability, and we were just waiting for official word. And there was also a lot of talk of, hey, Aaron Rodgers is holding a hostage of not just one team, but two teams. And really, he didn't hold them entire hostage, as he apparently expressed to them Friday. And so after the weekend, here we are. There was Monday. They're talking to Lazard. They've come to contract agreements with Lazard, which makes sense because I feel like Aaron Rodgers is close to Alan Lazard, and he let him know, and a lot of his close peers. So I feel like Rasul Douglas obviously knew, and he just played the part of trolling us on Twitter, and he had a lot of fun, and some of it was entertaining. I'm sure Bakhtiari knew, Randall Cobb must know, and that's probably why he decided, especially his timeline, that he's going to return, and I could see him going to probably take a veteran minimum with the Jets. It's kind of just waiting for that to officially happen, and he might just wait till Aaron Rodgers goes, who knows. But I feel like that's just inevitable at this point. Then on to the last point, why hasn't a trade officially happened? And it sounds like it's just the two teams taking a while to come to an agreement on the terms and the compensation. I feel like the Jets don't want to give as much as the Packers are asking, and I can see both sides. A lot of people say that the Jets don't have any leverage, especially with no quarterbacks on the market, and them are pretty much trying to go all in, and they've already come to pretty much an agreement in a couple hours with Alan Lazard. But also the Packers don't really have much leverage because obviously they want to move on with Jordan Love, and they don't really care for Aaron Rodgers to come back. Yes, they'll bring him back, but their preference is to move on with Jordan Love. And so it's dependent on your viewpoint. Both teams have a lot of leverage and at the same time don't have a lot of leverage. So I feel like it's a game of chicken, maybe. It might be a game of chicken. I'm not sure what the compensation details are. They haven't announced that. There have been some rumors that maybe the Packers are asking for 2 first-rounders. If they are and we get that, that would be insane, especially for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, yes, it's Aaron Rodgers, but that contract and, well, he's going to retire probably in a couple years. But also, it could be a determination or like an agreement of who's going to take on the bulk of Aaron Rodgers' contract. Are the Packers going to try and eat some of that contract, or are they just going to ship off the entire thing to the Jets? There's a lot of small details where I'm pretty sure they're trying to hash out, and that's what's taking this forever. And Gutekunst, based off his history, he does not mind waiting. He will wait until he finds a deal that he is very appreciative and that he really likes. So this might still drag on for a while, or who knows, they might come to a deal in a couple hours for all we know. But that is what's been holding this entire thing up, and that's why nothing has been announced. But at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers, it's pretty much as certain can be before he's officially traded, that he is no longer a Green Bay Packer. He will be a New York Jet, following in the footsteps of Brett Favre, and hopefully Jordan Love will follow in the footsteps of Aaron Rodgers, at least in the first 3 seasons in terms of, us getting a Super Bowl. Just saying, history keeps repeating itself. I would be cool with that. So it's time for the season of love. It would have been so awesome if this was announced at the end of January and February was right around the corner. It's time to Valentine's Day, but whatever, we're here now. It is now Jordan Love season. I completely support Jordan Love. Packer fan to the end of the day. Love Rodgers, but at the end of the day, it's about the Green Bay Packers. What's the best for our organization and supporting the players that we have out. Jordan Love's gotten a lot of flack from players, or not players, but from the fan base, especially when he's first drafted, and he's kind of dealt with it like a champ. Like, he hasn't clapped back. He's definitely dealt with a lot of stuff that was completely out of his control. And now, 4 years later, hey, now a lot of us are like, it's Jordan Love time. I wasn't entirely there, but now that trade is pretty much going to happen, it's Jordan Love time. So let's go Packers. Hope the best for you, Aaron Rodgers. Considering we're probably not going to do well, I hope Aaron Rodgers does win a Super Bowl, especially if we're not going to do that well. But if we're in the Super Bowl and we're playing the Jets, I hope we beat that ass. But let me know what you think down in the comments. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, go Pack Go.